our guest don sit down chin with us for inside studio in a forensic auditor and CEO of BVA Partners, Oga Okechukwu and Foro. Oga, you're welcome, sir.
When I do well, you don't hear a lot about the lending rates and the implications when it be say it get on SMEs. Now, at what point you think say the lending rates they affect the SMEs? What will be the disadvantages and what will be the advantages? Make we start from there first.
Okay. When I do well, this is a very crucial topical issue to deal with, for this kind of time, right? Interest rate they affect everybody, not only SME, but basically, na SME we dey try focus on now. Make we no misunderstand wetin CBN wan try achieve. Interest rate, I tell you, interest rate for Nigeria right now, even at 11.5%, that's CBN interest rate, not be the highest. It's high, obviously, when we look and compare to wetin other countries they do. If you come for sub-Saharan Africa, the three highest interest rate countries are Gambia, Ghana, and Malawi. Now, for SMEs, you before you take loan, you need to, the implication be say, you need to consider the kind rate where bank want give you for the business that you want to do. It need to make sense. If you want to do business where go give you a return of 10%, now it no make sense to take loan where cost past that 10%.
Past 10%, yeah.
Of course, no bank go lend you below the monetary policy rate of 11.5%, what we talk about now. So the implication really for SMEs is, you want to take loan, you need to reason them well. You need to, not be something you could just jump into. Yeah. You need to consider assemble your financial team and go look them well. So the loan you want to take need to correspond to the kind of business that you want to do. So whether an SME or big business, it always affect everybody, but you need to reason them well. You go just go take loan because yeah.
So Oga, feel say this kind of situation go add to some of the reasons why some of these SMEs, as we talk about, go just talk say they no go like to they go collect loan from bank because they also get their own different reservations about them.
Yeah.
How to pay back, the long process to acquire the loan. These are some of the things where they discourage them. But now they can't add this one join. If you say you no go affect these SMEs to even try, say okay, if I fit bypass or get all these other requirements, I go still meet this 11% interest rate for front. You know if you say it go affect them.
Yes, make I even tell you something. That's a better advice. If you want to do business, the first thing to do no be to just go jump carry loan. Like the report we will see, it makes sense to consider your internal sources and all of that sources. But you want to take a loan, and you said now you want to ask why the loan, why the rates, why it be like say them cost self first of all. What they drive this loan where they cost like this?
Yeah.
As long as we continue to have security challenges and infrastructural challenges, the bank themselves, where they give these loans, then they look at this risk where they in our environment. So they got to price them into the loan where they want to give. You want to talk about even the supply and demand for credit for this loan where they want to give. Now people get this money.
Yes.
And these people who get this money, they're expecting a return. So when inflation they rise, for instance, you need to, as a lender, you go consider them in pricing your loan. So as an SME, first of all, it is clear that the interest rate is not something, you don't go just jump enter them like that, So it's always going to be a challenge, but the security problem, the infrastructural deficit we will get, the inflation, these are factors where they, and from the government point of view, that is where, we have a lot of job to do. CBN no one kill anybody. We go to Obonge economies for this country, and I think that they mean well, you get. But taking loan, and imagine, the other issue with these loans, where they make and be like say the cost be say, you see, the problem of identifying these people See, when person take loan, you know say person fit take loan, he loss.
That one they happen.
Yes, he lost because we no get better credit bureau tracking. What do you call them now?
All those
Oversee the
systems
column.
there.
What the column oversee? Where you say you get a social security number,
Yes,
where they
yes.
fit track you.
Yeah.
Do you get? So if one take loan now from bank A, your record date, everybody they identify.
But
everybody
should
dey
not be
there,
why
you know.
BVN.
The BVN.
Not be why the BVN day to keep
And
all
so
those
another process
follow-up.
to fit a track.
I get
track all
friends.
these things.
Can I tell you something? I get friends who be say, the guy don't borrow loan from one bank like that. Stepping as 10 BVN.
Yes.
He borrow loan from one bank. As he default on that one, he can't run. So anytime we ask, where would they want to do something? Now, okay, you know, I need help, whatever. I bet no pay that account to, then they hold me. You know, I don't block them. I don't run. So that now one risk where bank they face, and these are people who will get this money. Do you get? So when bank they confronted with those kind challenges, you want to expect now business they into. They not come business to lose. But again, talking about this rate, one other way where people they get them wrong, say sometimes you know they be based on say they charge you 11.5% or 20% or whatever. Now partly because say people know they pay attention to these rates. So for instance, a bank give you loan. Of course, it will never happen at this 11.5% now. Where would they talk about? But say a bank give you loan at 11.5%. Now, people they make mistake. Will be say they know they go check at the end of the day. They know they go check. Make sure say that 11.5% where they agree or that 15% where they agree with bank. Say now what in bank they charge them. So a bank give you loan at say 15% or 20%. My brother, if you look at well, in many cases they charge you past that 20%. So you find out say what thing they make them they cry. Not be really say na the 20% what they take or na the 11.5% what they take. But na based on say then they lose money where they no. Then they charge them past the 11.5% or the 20%. Do you get? As we speak, the U.S. Fed, there's a plan to increase their Federal Reserve rate. They call an MPR here, right?
Okay.
By March, they want add 0.25% on top their own MPR. Do you get? And, you know, now always sensitive issue, talking about rate. And CBN and the economic managers, they know, say, this interest rate thing now a key economic management tool. Do you get? So those are the things. People, they take loan at those rates, but in some cases, they know they pay attention. Make sure, say, that rate we agree, now waiting they charge us. So when they come, they overcharge you, you can't be like, say,
money just they come out.
Do you understand? Should be this 11 is too much. But the point is, you're paying much more than even the 11.5%, which I'm saying that you know, go even fit get. Do you understand? So, and particularly for SMEs, you know, we get what we call prime lending rate, maximum lending rate. Prime lending rate, now the rate where bank they take give loans to their biggest customers, the most credit-worthy customers. Now the rate, Dangote, the MTNs, and all of that. Now, but the maximum lending rate, now the maximum rate where they give every other person, deriving from both the MPR and the prime lending rate. Now, the way they give SME, the way they go take access SME, which is of course more risky, right? Not be the same way they go take price the same MTN. You don't hear MTN they shout and all of those ones.
But most time, some Ghana economists go to say the system is rigged against most of these smaller companies to swallow them up. Because most of these big firms, like you just call some big names now, most of them, they default most of all these CBN loan rates and all that. But these smaller ones, they weren't supposed to thrive for this part of the country. They always press them. So based on this kind of rate, we say, they are attainable for some of these SMEs. They give them stress to really cope up because of this very rate. Now, as a forensic auditor, what do you think, say, a friendly way of encouraging SMEs? Because at this level we they go, so the system they rigged against small scale businesses because they're not if you meet up. Most of them, they know they fit meet up. And that's a reality.
Okay, make I tell you this, You know, not be every business. It gets some kind of fundamental mistakes too, where some of us they make. Not be every business, first of all, need loan to start. Number two, not be every first of all, not be every business need loan to even run at all. Number two, not be every business need loan to start. If you start your business, and that's all over time, you go now see say need for loan don't they? Waiting you they see a lot of the time be say you go see person he won't go business and the first thing you need to think of say na loan he won't use run. You never test the business so you want to even know whether it work, whether it gets market, it viable.
But in the 70s, people like them, I'm sorry to call some name, some of the Dangotes, the Milu, and the rest of them, they thrive on some of all this kind of loan now. Now they take big up, reach this level they now. But now come to our recent time now, how many smaller companies they say they fit go the same way when some of these big names, then the space was so friendly with them, banks, the CBN, they're so encouraging. But today, the ball game don't change. It not be like that again. So you they talk about it, not be every business now need loan. You will know your vision. Now your head now you know where you they want go. So bank not go fit encourage those kind of people.
Incidentally, it is what it is. You know, I don't first work for bank, and to some extent, I get idea how a bank they think. Every bank won't give you loan. Okay, so if you talk say theoretically, but bank they make the biggest money from loan. So bank not get any reason to just keep money for their vote and do no lend. I go disagree with you respectfully on that idea of say the system they rigged against the small companies. You know, like I said. See, a lot of businesses, they know they do their proper market evaluation thing well before they even start. When we start, we don't think of loan. We don't even get office. Yes, we don't even get office. But I get friends who say, before you start on something, you don't take loan, you don't go rent office, buy furniture. I'm telling you, buy furniture, employ one or two people, buy laptop, you know, say you need to set your office well and all that on loan. Tell me why that you never record
so
the first customer. So what is the
role of bank to follow you through the process so you don't present to them say you want to use the loan?
Good. The whole idea is to, if you get a proposal, your job is to convince the bank, say, Oga, I get viable project where I want to. For that your presentation, for that your document, for that your plan, bank go see how this money they go and how they go take come back and even their own share for the money and how everybody go take they happy. Because at the end of the day, loan na shareholders money now what did they call them? Depositors funds and things. So for SMEs, basically, now let us not forget
they're not monitor the process, they just give you the money, go sleep, they wait for your returns.
No, never. So now we are even the challenge they come because they get to assess you very well. And now we are the interest rate even the high because by the time they assess you, they say they're very risky. So you will never get business trajectory, you never get history, you never get experience for this. And how many people you don't work, how many projects you don't deliver? Maybe 0, 1, right? So how bank won't give you money and they don't go price and well because then they run the risk of default.
Yes.
Exactly. So you're a new SME, you won't carry loan. What you won't give bank confidence? Say, if we give you this money, at the appointed time, it will come back. Do you get? So sometimes you find that it makes sense for you to even go, build your history, build your capacity. Over time, they'll give you, I'll give you one life example. You get one major transporter. This guy, okay, so at the end of the day, now bank on when bank on they see how you don't they do. Now then con they say, bros, this your one bot they do now. No, you need two. And then if I hear say the man they talk okay now popular so everybody know but you know it started from money from NYSC whatever but you know managed by one boss as they do and person will give vision
the process
good and I'm coming somewhere. So person will get vision. So he was consistent, keeping his records and all that. As bank, they say, come. This guy, be like say, his ability they do small. Okay, bros, this your one boss. Be like say, you go this second, from third, from two. Today, that company do over 20 years plus. I don't first work there, major transport company. As opposed to, and I'm not saying, I'm being careful here not to say that our young people are too ambitious. It's good to be ambitious, right? But it be like say, sometimes they want, I start business today and I want to run like person we don't dare 10 years ago.
Sharp.
Yes. Yes, they happen like that. So sometimes a way out for SME if it be take time, build capacity, operate on a small level, test the market, determine that there's really a viable market. I just tell us now, when we start, for about 3-4 years, now from house we take the run.
They do on a business.
Exactly. And so as the customer base they grow, you know they're possible again. So you go naturally. Now you go even see this business don't go beyond exactly.
You get what?
Okay, so Oga, there one question we don't bother my mind.
Please, my dear.
The MPR will be the monetary policy
rate.
rates, now the baseline of interest rates and all that. And this, if you look at this new crop of loan companies and we just there everywhere where they harass people, especially when they harass their customers when they're in debt and all that. It means say this policy no affect them because it be like say those people they need to follow exactly within most of these policies they talk about. How you go use talk about the activities vis-a-vis within CBN they do.
Okay, so if you wonder why. So I will kind of modify the question to understand it better. But so CBN say 11.5%.
Yes.
So what do you mean by say they know the full go be say they lend higher, much higher?
Some of them they do 30%.
Exactly.
And more.
Exactly. Now that risk we talk about. In everything get trade off, and I'll tell you what I mean. But now that risk we talk about. You won't lend money to person where they work for wherever. And you say no collateral just because say the person they collect salary. So bring your salary account and then we give you loan or issue check. Obviously, you see say that loan they risky. They risky really. So to compensate for it, they have to. They suppose make their rate high. It's a business calculation. Be that one. You understand? Now, but you also find that say those people they know they totally permit me to use the word useless. Why? Because I was just speaking to a customer yesterday who said, then they find money to do project, say their traditional bank go waste them time, So now why they got to go do something asset management? How much are we talking about? 150 million naira. Yes, but they got that money within 2-3 weeks. Yeah, this was the yesterday conversation. Wow. They got that money within 3 weeks. I'm talking about 150 million naira. But the downside. As we speak today, that loan is not in default. You see what we're talking about. That loan, they default. This is the life company, life experience. 240 million outstanding.
Ooh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So what's my point? My point is that why these guys are why they're solving a problem because they give you, they give you money faster than the traditional banks. Sometimes they waive some of those
requirements.
Exactly. Where they make people they complain, but then go up them with the interest of what they charge you. So talking about their activities too, they are entitled to. They're supposed to collect their money. They go beyond bounds.
CBN not supposed to regulate all of those things. Understand? They say they no follow for the baseline of monetary rate. CBN don't put for corner.
Good.
That is exactly what in.
Okay, absolutely. CBN is supposed to play that role. But somehow too, say CBN, they no go one give us, they no go give impression, say we they run what do they call this kind of economy where governments now in they control things, control price and everything. We see they run a free market economy where demand and supply they power things.
Okay.
So those guys who they lend money at 30%, we don't know how much where they collect these loans. Do you know Nigeria, if I'm not just Nigeria, Sub-Saharan Africa is where we have the widest gap between deposit rate and lending rates.
Lending rate. Yeah.
Which is why economists, I just saw that report this morning, they say we have the most profitable banks in Sub-Saharan Africa, right? But at the same time, the most inefficient. All right? Yes. Contradictory, kind of. But so the point we say, my dear, is a free market economy, and then these people, even me and you, where would they go deposit money for them? Would they tell them, say, come, now 20% I will collect, now 21, 22. 25, 10, 15. So when they collect this deposit from people too, they won't give them out. They suppose give them out in a way we say they go fit make spread. You know, they go fit make their own profit join. So yes, CBN get role to play. I mean, I agree with you. But CBN also, they carry them for mind. Say, as we regulate, we no want send out wrong signal to the market. Say with the control market. Otherwise, even other investors, people coming in, both whether foreign or domestic, then go to watch. Say which kind of economy like this. If I know if it run my business is a free economy kind of business. So it's a challenge, Julie. But now why this kind of conversation, they're very important.
Yes, sir.
Make with the hold them so that because the surprising part be say Nigeria get better economy, so we get better people not be Nigerian guy, be African Development Bank MD and stuff like that. We get people. True. But somehow, not just the commitment for us to do the right thing, we go benefit everybody.
Wow, thank you, thank you, for this eyes where you can open our eyes to CBN lending rate, and you don't really touch light and well. Thank you, Mr. Okechukwu Anuforo,
yes.
Forensic Auditor, CEO of BVA Partners. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.